Are the Green Bay Packers ready to make a championship run in 2025, or will their roster limitations hold them back? The offseason is a time for bold moves, unexpected twists, and strategic roster reinforcements. With the Philadelphia Eagles hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, every team in the league is looking for that missing piece to elevate their chances of glory. And the Green Bay Packers? They are no exception. A heated debate is unfolding within the Packers locker room as key players voice their opinions on what the team needs to take that next step. One of the most talked about positions, wide receiver. With key injuries and questions surrounding their receiving cores, tensions are mounting. Should the Packers bring back a familiar face to stabilize their offense? A star cornerback seems to think so, and his recruitment efforts are making waves. Let's dive into this developing story and examine the impact of these roster moves on the Packers' Super Bowl aspirations. Veteran wide receiver sparks debate in Green Bay. As one of the 31 teams aiming for significant roster improvements this offseason, the Green Bay Packers find themselves at a critical juncture. With the Philadelphia Eagles emerging as Super Bowl champions, the Packers must bolster their squad to contend in the upcoming season. One of the primary areas requiring attention is the wide receiver position. Running back Josh Jacobs recently emphasized the necessity of acquiring a true number one receiver. However, his remarks were met with resistance within the locker room, with wide receiver Dontavian Wicks expressing his dissatisfaction publicly through social media. Despite the internal discord, cornerback Kyseian Nixon took to social media on Tuesday to advocate for the return of a former Packers standout. Nixon made a direct appeal to Davante Adams, urging him to reunite with the franchise. A clear need for an elite receiver. Regardless of internal disagreements, the Packers' need for a top-tier wide receiver is evident. While the team possesses a collection of promising weapons, they lack a definitive alpha presence in the receiver room. Moreover, with Christian Watson slated to begin the 2025 season on injured reserve due to an ACL tear sustained in the final game of the previous season, the urgency to reinforce the position has intensified. As uncertainty looms over Adams's tenure in New York, speculation regarding his release has gained traction. Given his deep ties to Green Bay, Nixon is actively campaigning for his return. During his distinguished 8-year tenure with the Packers, Adams amassed impressive statistics, ranking second in franchise history for receptions and touchdowns, while securing a fourth-place standing in receiving yards. Since departing, he has maintained his dominance, achieving 3 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. In the most recent campaign with the Jets and Raiders, Adams recorded 85 receptions, totaling 1,063 yards and 8 touchdowns. Despite being 32 years old, Adams remains an elite route runner with exceptional hands. His return to Green Bay would immediately restore him to the WR1 role, providing stability and leadership to the offensive unit. This potential acquisition is precisely why both Nixon and Jacobs are advocating for his homecoming. West Coast aspirations versus Titletown legacy. However, Adams has expressed interest in continuing his career on the West Coast, with the San Francisco 49ers and Los Angeles Rams emerging as potential suitors. Such a move would be a significant disappointment for the Packers, who would prefer to see their former star donning the green and gold once again. With the 2025 season approaching, the question remains, will the Packers successfully bring back a franchise legend, or will Adams take his talents elsewhere? Nixon has made his stance clear. He wants Adams back in Titletown, and so do many Green Bay fans.